Thank you for watching this Last Mile Profits video.
Do personal parcel lockers make sense? Interestingly, this is something that Gary and I agree on. So if you want to find out what is one of the few areas that there's absolutely no discussion between us, take a look at this Last Mile Profits video. Experience the future of convenience with modern Expo parcel lockers. Cutting-edge innovations that bring parcel delivery to a fundamentally new level. Follow the link in the description to find the best solution for your business. Gary, I was reading an article about a new player from the UK called, and then realised that these are actual single-cell residential parcel lockers. I have a funny feeling that this might be something we agree on. What's your take? But I'll give you first shot.
Well, I'm not sure, Marek, because I can tell you the absolutely surefire way to make a small fortune out of these individual parcel locker boxes. It's to start off with a large fortune and then basically hemorrhage it away with this awful idea. I've been in this industry for, well, as you can tell from my hairstyle, a number of decades, and I've literally lost count of the number of people that have come and pitched this idea to me. And I assume most of them are now living homeless on the street with a dog held back on a piece of string because they've all told me how much they believe in it and have invested their own personal money. And I think they're, well, to use the dog metaphor again, barking mad.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gary, I think we will agree. I've for a long time been a proponent of residential parcel lockers, but only when they're multi-cell lockers and ideally when they're street-based, so they're available not just for the community living in the building, but for people around the building, because then that's efficient. The problem that I have with these single-cell lockers is the following. Number one, they don't give efficiency in the sense that several parcels typically, because it's 1.2 I think is the average typically, go to one machine, because you have to still go to the individual address. So now that's the second thing. You can't go to one machine and deal with delivery of 20, 30, 40, 50 parcels. You have to go to each box. What happens at peak if the box is full?
Well, it doesn't even have to be full. It only has to have one other parcel in it. Now, I'm sure the great men and women of delivery around the world are all scrupulously honest, but sometimes if you open a box and it looks like there's a free parcel in the bottom and you're waiting to put your parcel in, the temptation to lift the other parcel out and potentially throw it under the seat of your van, some people are going to fall prey to the temptation, Marek. Obviously, not good people like us, but other people.
Absolutely, and my biggest issue is that, I don't know if you've seen, a couple of years ago there was a version of this where it was like a harmonica type affair. So the box was smaller, but if you needed to put a bigger parcel in, the thing would extend to amazing proportions, which made the front of your house look pretty awful. But I suppose that's one way if you want to avoid the problem of parcels not fitting in.
My biggest issue with it, to be honest with you, is obviously they want the householder to buy the box. Why would I pay to solve somebody else's problem? You know, if somebody's having difficulty delivering to me, I'm probably not that bothered. You know, there are other solutions, like you say, a common locker location where I can go and it's maybe shared between multiple carriers, like Quadient Building in the UK and other companies are doing elsewhere. Friendly terms with your neighbour, a safe place. You know, there are lots and lots of solutions to this that none of them cost me as a householder money. And also, I've seen some of the pictures on the website of them out by the front door. The way to probably really help is just to write, "Please steal me" on the side of it, so that somebody else can come along and drag it away with my parcel inside. Take their time to crack it open, once they've driven off with it. It's crazy.
To come back to your point on the cost, I think, was I right? It's a couple of £100 to buy one of these things.
Yeah.
So it's not small money. I remember, and this was a long time ago, I think about 10 years ago, I don't know if you remember, Gary, Deutsche Post tested something similar. I think the boxes were subsidised. It was about €80 a month or something. Have you heard of any successes with that project?
I've never heard of any successes of this type of project at all. Now, in the Nordic countries, which is we always hold, between you and I, we tend to regard them as a positive example. For a long time, parcels have been delivered into boxes like that in the communal area of multifamily living spaces and apartment buildings, but they're under lock and key. Nobody knows who it belongs to. You put the key is put through your door. You go down with the key. You open the box. You get your parcel out. So there's kind of a free of charge version of It's almost like an analog version of the shared locker concept in an apartment building that has functioned, but it hasn't relied on individual investment from householders, and it hasn't relied on one box, one parcel. But you've touched on and I've been kind of flippant about this because we're trying to make this more as interesting as possible. But the real issue is you're doing nothing for the environment by doing this. You're still making that driver come up your path, up your driveway to your house, and you're not taking a vehicle off the road. You're not consolidating delivery. You're kind of, as I said, you're fixing a problem that isn't your problem to fix. There are other ways to do this that don't cost me personal money.
So I'd actually say that if there's a real desire to do something of this ilk, then I much prefer the Homer model, where you've basically got people who've got an apartment who'll take several parcels, so there's one drop point, and in an efficient manner they'll act as your local parcel point. I much prefer that, because I think it's, you hit the nail on the head, that ecologically these single cell residential lockers, just or boxes, don't make much sense. So I think, actually, Gary, this could be amazing. I think we have agreed 99.9%.
It's probably going to be the least viewed video we've ever done. If they want to watch us scrapping, then this is not going to be popular. We need to stop this immediately.
But maybe some of the viewers have a different view. Maybe you can see a role for these single cell residential parcel lockers. So we welcome your comments, especially on LinkedIn. We'll seek to answer them wherever possible. But for now, I think, this will come back, Gary, again and again, because as you've said, there are countless stories of people that have lost a small or maybe not so small fortune on these sort of machines. So let's see where it takes us. Gary, as usual, thanks very much.
My pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for watching this Last Mile Profits video. For more up-to-date last mile news and analysis, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on LinkedIn.